So, guys, we've got another game coming up tomorrow night. Liverpool against Wolves. It is away as well. And if I'm being perfectly honest with you, I think this could be out of like the bottom five teams. I think Wolves away is like potentially the hardest one that we could have. Now, I'm going to go through Arne Slot's presser. I'm going to give you my predicted 11 and I will also give you my score prediction. I think, if I remember correctly, when we went through that on the video where me and Sean all predicted our last few games of the league, I think I had this one down as a draw. And we'll see if I've changed my mind after the performance at the weekend. But anyway, if you like the video, make sure you're hitting the like button, subscribing and leaving a comment down below. Also as well, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that's reached out on the members video after what I'd mentioned over there. I don't really want to talk about it publicly on here, but you know, massive thank you to you all, and thank you to Jen for gifting out some memberships. As it stands right now, there will be a live stream tonight. So if anyone has any questions or anything you want me to answer or go over, put them in the comments on this video and we'll discuss them later on tonight at 7 p.m. with AKM. So, in the presser today, Slot confirmed that Wirtz will miss the game tomorrow and potentially the game after that too. He says not anything different to what I said after the game. The game probably comes too soon tomorrow and maybe the game at the weekend. We hope to get him back next week. It's very vague, I think, how they're talking about Wirtz's injury. I don't want to become one of them people that constantly thinks of like tinfoil hat stuff, but I can't lie. You know, the rumour was that he had a back injury, and the last person who we knew had a back injury and was out for a fair bit was Philip Coutinho to get his move away. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but I'm just saying that's what I thought. He was asked about the top four race, and he says, imagine the impact it would have had the right decisions been made. I think other teams were hoping that that wouldn't be a red as well. Wolves are doing much better than their results show. Whole seasons they've had hardly been beaten by a big goal difference. Recently they've been getting points and a win against Villa. It will be a difficult game tomorrow. Which reminds me, actually, I probably should load up the league table and see where we're currently at right now. So we're fifth. We're fifth there. But we could go up to third, depending on what else happens in the league and stuff. But I'll stop looking ahead because that'll be something that we dive into, I think. He was then obviously talked about like the fixtures and everything that's going on. He says it's not unusual to play 3 games in just 7. It's a challenge to play each other twice in a few days. But I like that. In the Champions League, when you play a team again soon after you change the setup of your team, but we know each other that well, I don't see much difference playing each other twice in a few days rather than a bigger gap. He then talks about on the holding at set pieces. And he says, not everywhere you see that. Not everyone is holding, but it is new reality of the Premier League. Mainly this season. Last season a little bit. In some games you see a lot of fouls being made, and in others you see some nice corner kicks being scored. On Frimpong, he said that right back isn't the only position where we have struggled, but it stands out the most. Having Jeremy back is nice. We have to take into account a lot of games, especially since players who come back from injuries. But we know the importance of every game now. But I am not the only one to have that. I prefer to manage how many minutes he can be given rather than see him with the medical team again, which I think is quite a sensible way of handling it. And I kind of get the reason why he didn't start Frimpong against West Ham at the weekend, and I think it was a good decision. But we'll see if I change my mind for the next game. I'm going to sneeze. I'm not taking that out. And then he was asked on whether or not he likes the way that football is heading, like the style of play. And he says, do I like it? My football heart doesn't like it. When I think about football, I think about Barcelona's team 10 to 15 years ago. Now, it's not as much as a joy to watch, but it is always competitive. Talking about your own football there, lad. Anyway, let me show you my predicted 11. So, I think we're obviously going to stick with Ali. I do think that Frimpong starts this game, but I think he comes off at 1 point for Gomez. I think you go with Konate, Van Dijk and Kirkez. I was umming and ahhing about Robbo, but I think you still stick with Kirkez. I then think you go Grav, Jones, and you rest Maka for this game, but then you can bring him on at another point of the match. And then I think the rest of the team kind of picks itself. It's going to be Dom, Salah, Hugo, and then again, I would go with Rio here, just because I think you're going to have to rest Gakpo at some point. But then I was also thinking, does this potentially happen? Because we saw it happen in the game at the weekend. Do we not play Hugo, and does Gakpo become the number 9? Like, what do we see that formation? I think that's most highly unlikely. Like, I think we're most likely to see that than anything else. Just drop him back into there and make Hugo a little bit bigger. Oop, wrong one. Make Hugo a bit bigger there. There we go. That's better, isn't it? I do think we'll see Hugo play, but I honestly think Rio needs to start at some point. But I do think we're probably going to see Gakpo again, guys. I really do. So we'll put Gakpo back here. I think we're going to go with that, which is pretty much the same team that started the last game, apart from Jones. Now, you let me know what you think about that. Now, I did say to you that I did predict that this game would be a draw, and I'm kind of sticking with it. I think even as good as we were in the 5-2 win, I do think that we were still vulnerable. West Ham had chances to take, and Wolves did just beat Aston Villa, who have been better than us this season. So I still think this game could be a draw, guys. Now, looking back at the league table, I'm going to go 1-1. Looking back at the league table, we are... Is it... Oh, I've not even got the table up, the fixtures. So looking at the league table now, we are 5th, and we are 3 points behind West Ham, behind United and Villa. Who would have thought that United would be 3rd in the league? Yeah? Wow. So obviously, we've got a better goal difference than Villa, and only 2 against West Ham. United, sorry. Why do I keep saying what? So, looking at the fixtures, obviously we play Wolves next. I hope we get the win, I really do. So we'll see what happens there. And then Wednesday, you've got Newcastle against United, and Villa are playing Chelsea. Now, I could see both United and Villa dropping points in these fixtures. So I hope that happens, obviously. So we could go into the weekend being 3rd, all things going our way, which would be absolutely insane. Would it not? I think it would be. And then obviously we're playing the FA Cup on Friday against Wolves again away. But yeah, let me know what you think down below, guys. Remember to put some questions in for the stream tonight and we'll discuss it there. But other than that, I'll catch you in the next one, guys.